I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. Yeah, man. I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with the hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome to episode 629 of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Show radio show and podcast. The show that's covering the sporting HBCU diaspora, all things HBCU sports for institutions large and small, from the NAIA to the NCAA. We share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture and HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU's athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. I'm your host, David L. Rose. Hopefully, I have my partners in crime making an appearance during the show. That'll be Brandon King and Jeffrey Johnson today. We are filming live from our home studios and sending a signal live to our KCOH 1230 AM studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer Ralph Cooper in the beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. I hope you guys are having an outstanding week. I hope you guys are having an outstanding Wednesday, considering the climate that we're currently dealing with to this day. The biggest story for me so far has to be the big announcement that Morgan State made. And I'll be honest with you guys. When they posted the tweet, I heard rumblings about it, and I wasn't shocked that they made that decision. And it's going to be interesting to see how things go with regards to them. That they Morgan State University made the announcement that they are going to opt into the NCAA lawsuit, so to speak. So they're going to have the roster limits, and they're going to pay their portion, and things of that sort. So there was some interesting things that came out of that particular article that kind of perked me up just a tad. Because a part of the settlement, Morgan expects to contribute an estimated $231,227 to the payout fund and adhere to the new roster limits. So it's going to be interesting how this is going to go. So for football, it's going to reduce the roster from 130 to 105, but all 105 players can get scholarships or things of that sort. So Morgan having institutional control. They're going to also have institutional control over NIL revenue sharing and access to alternative funding sources, such as the foundation and university-driven revenue. So I think, and this is just me on the deck plate thinking about it and talking about it, is I think that this is about reducing the amount of liability. And also, depending on what the other schools in the MEAC does, make sure that it's an even playing field from that regard. But it's going to be interesting. I think NIL is the big thing. I know we talked about this a few weeks ago on the show. The CAA is already opted in. The Big South already opted in as a conference. Shout out Dr. Cavil. He let folks know that the SWAC has opted into the lawsuit. So now it's just more of a wait and see to see if the other institutions within the MEAC opt in. And we got Jeffrey Johnson here in the building. Mr. Johnson, how you doing?
Oh man, listen. I mean, I'm thugging it today, man. My wife has my laptop while she's teaching her graduate level statistics course, and my son's over here doing Scratch or some sort of STEM thing on my other laptop. So we got the phone today, bro.
That's what we got. That's why we have iPhones, man, to make it work. Now, so we were talking about the fact that Morgan State announced that they are opting into the NCAA settlement.
Yeah.
And somebody mentioned this in asked the question in the chat. Why didn't the MEAC act in unison? I don't know. I have no idea.
You know what? The MEAC, I would say, is its own entity. You got different entities there. You got different personalities. And I also think that I do wonder that Commissioner Stills prompt every institution into maybe an impromptu meeting or anything like that, where they had maybe, I would say, a detailed briefing before decisions were made. So,
well, we don't know what the other 7 institutions are going to do. Right.
Yeah.
Right now, as of right now, we only know that Morgan State's the only member. It sounds like the SWAC is going to opt in because Dr. Cavil said that on HBCU Nightly. Last week. I believe it was HBCU Nightly, that or MD, one of the shows. He mentioned that they were going to opt in. But the Big South has opted in.
Yeah.
I'm not. I can double check with Brown. I'm not sure if the OVC has or not. We know the CAA did.
Yeah.
They announced that weeks ago. The deadline, for those who don't know, the deadline to opt in is Friday. No, Saturday, March 1st.
Yo, I mean, come on, man. Like, please don't go last minute. I mean,
it's their decision because some people are probably going to make the decision to opt out for one reason or another.
Yeah,
there could be the reasons why they make the decision to do so.
I could definitely understand that, but I do wonder why it was Morgan early to pull the trigger. As far unless if they had maybe a collective. But
I hope they're gonna get one stood up, but they don't got one going already because they're gonna need it. I'm gonna tell you that. It's been fascinating. Like I know A&T's got an NIL collective, and they got an NIL and we've utilized it in basketball.
Yeah.
The funny joke is we didn't seem like we paid the right guys this year, but we'll get to that.
You know what? That is true. But hey, if you look at Mike Woodson over there in Indiana, they actually have some of the most NIL money spent in basketball, and they have not produced, or I would say the results have not lived up to the actual amount.
That's the thing too that I think folks got to understand on the other end of that spectrum, right? Like if you got these institutions paying you, they expect wins.
Absolutely, yeah.
And especially if you're like part of the highest paid.
Yeah, and academics go out the window now. It's like I could look. Why are you going to a physics class? Go back on that basketball court. So,
well, I think at this point, schools got to decide which way they want to go, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I toured your illustrious campus last weekend, man. I toured Hampton last weekend, and one thing that was clear to me was that they had academics at the forefront. Numero uno. That was the first thing that I noticed when I walked around that campus, and they talked about how that was at the forefront was academics.
That's interesting. I mean,
you know who else has that at the forefront? And this is I'll tell you this story before we go to break. And when we come back, we'll talk about track. We're gonna go over track.
Go ahead.
Men's basketball, women's basketball. So I also went to Hop Show over the weekend too.
Oh.
And I learned.
Yeah.
I learned why they canceled their football program.
Okay.
They wanted to build a school of medicine. So they shut down their football program and used that money to build their school of medicine.
Hey, and you know what? I think that was a pretty smart move by them.
It was.
Yeah, smart move.
Could you imagine if Jackson State canceled their football program to build a school of medicine, or if A&T did it, or if any of our HBCUs did that?
Okay, all right. Why did you ever go to Jackson State first?
I mean, it's the easiest target in the bunch.
Yeah, Mississippi.
No, I'm just saying, like, but could you imagine, or FAMU, like, could you imagine like a team that it would never happen, obviously, right?
No. FAMU and A&T
or Morehouse will do it. No, I think Morehouse will do it. Morehouse
wouldn't do it. And no, Morehouse. No, my dad's a huge booster there. They're not doing that.
Okay.
FAMU and A&T have the money to build their own. Jackson State, I think it would, because football is the second drug next to whatever they do down there. So it would be bad.
There'll be a different level of a fight.
Yeah.
I bet you the administrators get whatever they want from the alums if they did make a threat like that. Though I can tell you that. Like if you start threatening to get rid of something that's so near and dear, so all of a sudden money starts appearing. It's like a magic trick.
Yo, it's like I guess if the sonic boom of the South disappear, people.
I mean, Tyler Gay's got a pretty good band. They don't have a football program, so
oh my god,
they can have a pretty good band.
I do not understand that. I do not. I don't get it.
If you good, look, bro. If you good, you good. Like if you good, you good. Like if you put the resources there, you good, you good.
Where do they perform weekly? I mean, are they just practicing?
They got invited to a battle of bands a few years ago, and they were good.
Oh yeah, they're good. I mean, I don't get it. Build up the school first.
But yeah, man. So I wanna. All right. Do you have any news of the day? I wanna take this break and talk about the track championships, man, because the CAA is going through their track championships right now. Give you guys an update on what's going on. See if there's any chances that either A&T or Hampton can pull out a championship.
Well, those Negroes sure can run.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see, man.
No, I don't have any news as of yet because we're just still in the thick of winding down on basketball. So
we're gonna talk about your squad, man. We're gonna talk about your squad. We're gonna get to that before you have to disappear. I know you said you gotta go. So let's go ahead and take this first commercial break.
Yeah, I gotta charge my car. Unfortunately, I still have Elon's company. So
I mean, if it works, man. It's too late now. You didn't know what you brought yourself into.
No,
a lot of folks didn't, as you can see.
Sure didn't.
So after this commercial break, I guess we'll talk about some men's basketball. We'll do men's basketball. We'll do track later. We'll talk about men's basketball. This is Dr. Cavil's HBCU inside the HBCU Sports Lab, episode 629, the Indy Report, and we'll be right back after this first commercial break.
It's like a loot machine. Going around town trying to get down. It's like a loot machine.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to The Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia from She Say Sports. Make sure to check us out every Friday morning at 9 a.m. on Black College Sports Network, YouTube, and Linktree. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome back to episode 629 of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. We're gonna start with men's basketball because I know my man Jeff is a happy camper right now. I said it, and I wasn't on Dr. Cavil's show yesterday, but he was not, like, Hampton was not in his top 5, and I felt a way about it because I feel like you guys are probably playing some of the best ball I've seen all year.
Mm-hmm.
Winners of 5 straight.
Yeah.
Now, shout out to Liv for Hoops, because Liv, she had y'all in the top 5. She had y'all number 3, and y'all deserve to be in the top 5 because y'all are playing out of y'all mind right now.
No, the 3-point shooting as like Joiners, like this is the difference. Buck Joyner had a bunch of 3-point shooters who couldn't shoot 3-pointers at all. They couldn't even shoot mid-range jumpers. So this team has I would say the past 5 games, if you look at it, they beat UNC Wilmington.
Yeah, but I
was
could have gone to that game,
yeah.
but my daughter didn't want to go because she's not a
Yep.
big sports person like that. My son really wanted to go,
Yeah.
but by the
Yeah.
time we got finishing all the touring and stuff,
Yep.
it was like 3:00, and I was like,
Yeah.
I need to get on the road to head to New York, and
Yeah.
this will help. But I saw y'all were taking it to them boys.
Yeah,
man.
we did. And you know what? We beat them, we beat Drexel, we beat we destroyed Stony Brook and beat Hofstra. But the thing is the way that they're doing it. And that's what we're so impressed with. Great, I would say, perimeter game by, of course, Farrakhan, Beal, and then we got Johnson and Mullen. Actually, he looks like he's, I would say, mending from his injuries. He's been a pretty good presence down low. You can tell he's not even close to 100%. He's probably like in the 70% range, but he's given us some quality rebounding, some, I would say, top of the key action where I think he's better when he can get to I would say, the free throw lane, and he could drive, dish. So, we have a lot of good, I would say, pieces that are playing, out of this world right now. So definitely excited, definitely impressed. And right now we're 8-8 in conference.
8-8 in conference, 16-13 overall.
Yep.
Winners of 5 straight. Like this is a great. Y'all are going to be dangerous in the tournament, and if you guys can get to the 6th seed, that'll give you a bye. All right. For those who don't know, so the top 6 seeds get a bye. I believe the top 4 seeds get a double bye. But the top 6 seeds get a bye. So Hampton has a chance to potentially get a bye here. They're sitting in 8. So right now, if the season ended today, you would be going up against Northeastern, who's 7-9 in conference, 15-14. But we're going to see if you guys can sneak up and grab that bye. Because if y'all can get the 6, which is not, I mean, this is the final weekend of the season, and I think right now you guys are playing
Drexel and I think Northeastern, one of those two.
All right, so you got Drexel, and Townsend. Actually.
Townsend.
That's the top team in the conference.
And the last game of the year, they did the same thing in football too.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting because Townsend might be sitting folks because Townsend has pretty much locked up the title. They've already won the regular season title in the CAA.
That's a good point too. So
it'll be interesting to see how that one goes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I would say I'm fairly optimistic that we can probably do some damage. Come tournament time. I am somewhat. There is a little bit of concern, but for the most part, winning 5 straight,
should be concerned when you win 5 straight.
No. I'm concerned not on the team part, but on, I would say, the fan part, the alumni part. We have not done our end of the bargain. That convocation center, I'm not gonna say it's empty, but we need more butts in the seats.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, man, because like I said, I ended up leaving because I had to drive to New York on Saturday to head out to Hofstra.
Yeah.
But I thought it was very smart of Hampton and the administration because that game was on CBS.
Yeah.
Because they gave away tickets to the folks who went. Like you could have gotten tickets to go to the game. I don't know what the crowd looked like at the game or not. I have no idea.
It was a decent crowd. It wasn't bad, but But those are the games where it's important to have that atmosphere, right? Yeah,
so that was good. That was good.
It's not Club Corbett, and that's
but y'all have a much bigger that's the other thing too. Y'all convocation center is nice, bro.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's got you can hold over 8,000 people. Club Corbett only over 5.
Yeah, I mean, but Club Corbett has the uniqueness where you're on top of the action, so you feel it, and that's why. And I remember when Bozeman played there at Morgan State, and that was the infamous ham sandwich gate, and you guys had the guy dressed up as a pig, and it was he needed police protection at that game, but that's what the type of venue I would love to see the Convocation Center become.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. It is a nice arena.
Yeah,
but I think the key for that, you got to get the community involved too.
Yeah, and that is a huge problem. And
you got to get the community involved.
I would say that they're doing a better job of community engagement since I never say his name. Jerry Jones left. So since Jerry Jones is gone, we have done
I
a
will
month.
say even because I've been talking about my tour with Hampton, but even when I went, that was one discussion point that happened a couple times during the tour.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah. Because now you at the point where you got kids who've seen the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Because you got a couple students that was there during one regime and was there for the new one. They could see the difference.
Yeah. Like if you think about it, Jerry Jones, when he looked outside of his office window, he had a statue looking right back at him. That was right outside of his office window. And it was petty that the new president, when he looks outside that window, he sees Jerry Jones looking right back at him.
I got my thoughts on it. There's a number of statues of him in that campus.
Yeah.
Look, man, he was there for over 40 years, so I can't be. He did good things for that institution, so I can't beat him up too much.
He did, and we're not beating him up. I appreciate him. Listen, my people in my family adore that man. But I will always remember when my dad shook his hand at freshman orientation and he wiped it off on his suit coat in front of him. That's what kind of man he is. But we appreciate him, though.
Wow. All right.
But
all right, I didn't expect you to say that one.
Yeah. Even my dad laughed at it. He was like, Lord, have mercy, that man. Wow. But
all right.
Hampton basketball. Yeah. Good.
Hampton's doing great. I'm glad that they turn it around. I'm hoping they do damage in the tournament and surprise some folks. You're gonna get a pretty good test closing out the season against Townsend. Hopefully they'll play their people. Should be able to beat Drexel or Philly, but you got them both on the road, so it should be fascinating to see.
Yeah.
Now that being said, the Aggies
won some games. Yeah.
Winners of 3 of the last 4.
Yep.
Won the last 2.
Yep.
Beat Stony Brook in a close one. Beat Campbell 53-50. Now, what I will say, shout out to Jonathan Lamont. He won National Player of the Week.
Yep.
So shout out to him.
As he should. He been balling.
Yeah. And it goes to show that Ross can coach.
You know what? He can coach. And I just think that
he just had a bunch of folks that are just renegade.
He had Deadwood on there that I'm sure he'd probably be like, hey, run this play. And they'd be like, man, we're running that. Look, here. And that's what's probably happening. It's like he probably recruited, I would say, guys that were over his scheme or guys that were that he probably recruited to try to get some scoring that was necessary because he in his defense. Yeah. He walked into a rough plot. He walked into a rough spot. Yeah. Most of the team hopped into the portal when they said they weren't going to hop into the portal. And then so then he was left to try to put the pieces together. Yeah. And he put the pieces that he could last season. And then we had one guy that was very good, so good to the point where he needed to come back, even though he almost was gone. And he brought his friend with him, and then it became what it became. Yeah. And they didn't win a single conference game during the season together. Yeah. But then as soon as he leaves, they win 3 of the last 4. And what does that tell you?
I wonder how, but they're still on campus, so I wonder how they're feeling right now.
They probably not caring, man. I mean,
that would be discouraging, right? Because I think you're going to go to your next destination, so you're going to probably figure it out. Yeah. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens going into the season going into the postseason, because just like I've said before, everybody gets in.
Oh yeah.
Anybody can get it.
Yeah.
All right. So that's one thing you got to keep in mind. Right now, A&T is 7-22 overall, 3-13 in conference. Their final 2 games are up against Northeastern. I won't be able to go to that game, unfortunately, in Hofstra.
Yeah.
So those are the next 2 games up. They're both on the road. Thursday in Boston and Saturday in Hempstead. Yeah. And I just came from Hofstra. I ain't driving down there again. And I just came and I went to the ladies game last week against Northeastern. So I'm tired. I'm tired. I got things to do. Yeah. But either way, we shall see how that goes. Now, as for Tennessee State, they lost against Tennessee Tech 74-77.
Yeah.
They did beat UT Martin 86-75. Both games were on the road. I gotta check their record because let me pull up the standings real fast because they're still like in the hunt with regards to the tournament. They're trying to get into the top 4 seeds. Right now, they're not.
Yeah.
They're 10-8 overall. 14. They're 10-8 in conference. 14-15 overall. They're tied for 4th place. Not sure who owns the tiebreaker. It's probably Tennessee Tech after the win that they just got against Tennessee State. So there's still some time. Well, is there time left? They've already played 18 games. No, the season ain't over yet, is it? Hold on. No, they got 2 more. They got 2 more conference games left, and both of them are at home. They got Morehead State on Thursday, and they have Southern Indiana on Saturday.
Ooh.
So, and Southern Indiana is second in the conference, and Eastern Illinois is there's a lot of teams in here. Kind of.
Yeah.
9th in the conference. They're 9th in the conference.
Yeah.
So we shall see how this goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
No. I'm just like Tennessee State breaking my heart right now, man. I almost tear up thinking about that school.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll get fascinating down the stretch. I mean, the key is to get into the tournament. They're going to get in. Like, that's not the concern here, right?
Yeah.
So that's the key. They got to get in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to take our next break, and when we come back, we're going to go over the women's programs.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through the women's programs. I think there's only 1 out of the 3 that's going to be happy about the women's program right now. But we will be back.
Steamrolling.
That's what we try to do here around these streets. So we'll be right back after this break.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
There's a shot to right. It could be. Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you, guys, for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, and all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food? Like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
The Cavil Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cavil.
Compress the analytic data with your hip-hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gonna teach a lesson.
Welcome back to Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, episode 629, the Indy Report. All right, man, let's talk about the women's programs for the independents. So we'll start with Tennessee State. Tennessee State currently, they are on a 2-game losing streak. They lost to UT Martin on the 18th, 52-73. They lost to Tennessee Tech, 71-84. Standings wise, they are currently 9th in conference. They're 4-14. They're 4-14 in conference play, 8-20 overall. I know it's the game of patience right now with the women's program, and I get it because they're rebuilding right now. So I can't be mad at that. Like, I know there was one point there was concern of whether or not they was going to be able to win some conference win hardly any conference games, and they've struck 4 so far over the past month. So you can't be mad with regards to that. I'm feeling for them. Yeah. But I think there's going to be brighter times ahead for Tennessee State women's basketball from that regard.
Oh, definitely.
Yep. Now let's get into the CAA.
I'll just go ahead because I know you got a long. I mean, I'm gonna just say this: our girls have the last 3 to 4 games. Like literally, it's been heartbreaking. Not for the fact that they've lost, but they've lost very close games. They lost to William and Mary, in overtime. And
that's tough. That was a tough one.
Woo, man. Then Stony Brook, they beat Stony Brook by 2.
That's a big win. That was a big win against Stony Brook.
It was a big win. And it was just one of those, like, you see it, and then they turn around and lost to Monmouth by 2. Late.
Monmouth, let me tell you something, man. And they lost to them on the road.
Yeah.
That's one of the losses A&T got.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other factors that you have to deal with that game.
Yeah.
I'll put it to you that way. We have not beaten Monmouth at home. On the road.
The
past 2 years.
Yeah.
And there's other things, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave it at that too. I know exactly where you're going.
Yeah, there's other things.
Yeah, and I think when we laid a stinker against College of Charleston, I think that was just pretty much the malaise from, I guess, the Monmouth game, and
they're good though. College of Charleston, like their conference record, doesn't really, because they're not second in conference. I think they're like 5th if I recall correctly, but they still got the highest net in the conference right now. They have the highest net record in the conference, so they're legit. So I don't expect them to be a pushover, because we took care of them pretty. No, they're 3rd in conference now. They're 3rd behind Drexel and A&T. But I don't think you should be discouraged about that one either. Because they're one of the best teams in the conference too.
I'm not going to say we're discouraged, but it's like we have fight, and that's what I'm still impressed with, this program, because we're 6-19 overall, 2-12 in conference, so the girls, they definitely have fight, and you can see that the coach is still adjusting to what she has. And we lost a lot of players last year, from the Davis 6 exit, and we lost a lot of them to rival programs. So I hate the fact that, our women's basketball head coach had, to come to kind of pick up the pieces with it. But I would say from what I've seen is the team has been resilient. We just haven't had the breaks yet, to be successful.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there, man. So, but they just give it time. You got to build the program. Building the program takes time. But y'all got some games that are winnable the next 2 weekends. Next two games. Y'all got Hofstra. There's 4 games left in the regular season. So y'all got Hofstra on Friday. And you got Northeastern on Sunday. Both games will be in Hampton at home. And then you close out the season against UNCW. And College of Charleston again, both on the road. And then you have the CAA championship tournament from March 12th to March 16th. All right. So A&T, they were out here steamrolling folks. I went to the William and Mary game. I took the ride down to William and Mary, so I was in the area. So I took the ride down. They beat them 67-44.
Yeah,
and it could have been worse. The refs were trying to get those ladies back in the game, and it didn't work. It could have been much worse than that.
Yeah. Hold on. Before you go further, was that a satisfying win for you?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Whenever I'm at a game on the road, like the same thing
Yeah.
for Northeastern, even
Yeah.
though the way that Northeastern played against us the week prior,
Yeah.
because they were they shot the 3-point shot very well. I knew they would probably win their next game
Yeah.
because they were
Yeah.
playing really well.
Yeah.
But
What was the turnout for the Aggies in Williamsburg?
there was a pretty much a section of Aggies there because I was
Yeah.
in there. I was sitting because I ran into one of the players' mothers.
Okay.
And so she gave me a comp ticket for my
Yeah.
son. So I didn't have to pay for 2 tickets, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And shout out to Agent James. I was sitting with her mother basically. We were just talking. We both work for the government too, so we were having conversations about that.
Yeah.
Everything that's going on with that. And her daughter transferred twice. Like she went to a school in Jersey, then she transferred to Elon, then she transferred again for grad school for A&T.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was fascinating to have that conversation with her regarding that.
Yeah.
Because I guess they were probably misusing her at Elon, and now she leads Agent James. She leads the conference in 3-point percentage.
Yep.
So shout out to her. She had a phenomenal game that night too.
Baller.
So they beat William Mary by 23. Then Delaware came to Club Corbett and beat them by 16, 71-55. So next up we got UNC Wilmington on the road and Elon on the road, and then we close out at home against William Mary and UNCW. They could clinch the conference. They can clinch the conference this weekend.
This would be a really, I would say, a crowning achievement. I would say for the for Earl. I mean, I'm not okay. So he had the MEAC stuff. He had the MEAC and all of that stuff. That's in his binder. But this is a good one because this is a part of the Big Three. So I think that I really am impressed. I want to see you guys get that ring.
Yeah, we want to get I think if I don't know, let me check Drexel's schedule real fast. We just need Drexel to lose one of these games.
Yeah.
If they lose one and we win the 2 games over the weekend, we clinch the title. We clinch a share of the title.
Mm-hmm.
Drexel plays Monmouth. That ain't gonna be an easy one. And they play Campbell, and that ain't gonna be an easy one either. But Drexel's a really good basketball team.
Yeah, Campbell's girls are always, I would say, tough out, man.
Yeah, and the thing is, they play in the 4th and the 15 in conference. So, let's see, but they're both at home. So,
okay,
that's gonna be a tough. Yeah, that's gonna help them. So it'll be interesting. They got a chance. The ladies got a chance to clinch it this weekend, but odds are they probably gonna have to clinch it in the final weekend.
Yeah.
Either way, it'll be sweet. Either you clinch it on the road, or you clinch it at home.
Yeah. So, it's the way that you guys are winning, though. I love how just watching those games. I'm really is the confidence is there, swagger is there. Sometimes you guys play a little bit of bully ball, which I do not. Which is kind of all right, tone it down. You're the black school. No more bully ball.
I didn't realize you was in here, Mr. King. How you doing, sir?
It's all good. I was enjoying the banter like the rest of the audience.
Look, man. So it's gonna be an interesting next couple of days. A&T has a legitimate opportunity to take home 2 championships this week.
Oh, I forgot.
We're gonna get into that after the break. We'll get into the track. I got a whole chart for Hampton and A&T.
Okay, well, fellas, I'm gonna see y'all on the next week. But run Negroes, run for them track.
All right, Jeff. Appreciate you coming, my man. So, but yeah, man, I know you don't want to get beat up about Tennessee State. I know that they're both building. I know the men's hasn't been as I mean, they lost their last game, but they're still on pace, man. They still tied for 4th, so hopefully they get that top 4 seed and keep it moving.
Yeah, they close out the season, and if they can finish strong, they can get one of those sweet, delicious tournament buys. So we'll see what happens with that. The women, they're still in battle to get that 8th and final spot in the tournament. Like I said, they're going to need some help. And they've actually the second half of the season has went a lot better for the ladies than the first half.
Mm-hmm.
So so I think, and we've talked about it all year long. This is your first year coach. You're trying to put her stamp on the program, and hopefully some of the things that we're seeing now is kind of building toward the future and building in the next season. So I'm not like I've been saying all year. I'm not hitting the panic button by any stretch, but I do like the progress that they've made as the season has gone on. And if they can get in that 8 seed, maybe they can pick off a game or two, or at the very least, get some of the young ladies some of that tournament, that big game experience as you move into 25-6.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, we're gonna take our last break. When we come back, we're gonna talk some track, man. We're gonna talk a little bit of track. The CAA track indoor track championship started today, so I'm gonna pull up the site because unfortunately they ain't streaming, and I feel a way about that. And I've been very vocal about that on Twitter about the fact they're not streaming this thing, but they didn't stream it last year either. But I'm trying to give them some grace, but I think they need to figure this out. But we're gonna see. But we'll be back after this break. And we're going to talk a little track status and see if Hampton or A&T can bring home the gold. This is Dr. Cavil inside the HBCU Sports Lab.
Planning an event? From weddings to corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC brings over 15 years of experience to make your vision a reality. Based in Metro Atlanta and serving statewide, even internationally, we provide versatile event planning and authentic catering cuisines tailored to your needs. Whether it's pre-game meals for student athletes, fundraisers, weddings, corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC is your one-stop solution for exceptional service and unforgettable food. Our diverse culinary heritage means we cater to all cultural tastes, dietary needs, and food restrictions, making every meal uniquely yours. Let's make your next event unforgettable. Visit us on all social media at CMJ Events LLC or email us at cmjeventsllc@gmail.com. Also give us a call at 404-664-3882 so that we can start planning now.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavil of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
When you're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics, there's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Press the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome back to episode 629 of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. So for those who don't know, the CAA Indoor Track Championship started today. So I have some of the status of some of the players and the placing so far. Within that, I'm going to share my browser right now. This is the status for the A&T folks. Fortunately, they had a lot of folks who are qualifying for the finals tomorrow. So the tournament is today. The championship is today and tomorrow. So they had a lot of folks that qualified today. Jason Holmes, who I expect him to make it to nationals, and possibly Caleb Jackson as well. make it to indoor nationals down in Virginia Beach. So they'll end up coming back to Virginia Beach. Right now, the indoor championships are currently in Virginia Beach, Virginia. So we'll see. I'm pretty confident Jason Holmes has a time to qualify for 60 meters for 60 meters running and for hurdles. But we shall see with regards to that. Jason Holmes again for hurdles as well. The A&T has a shot to get their first men's title, but they're going to have to go 1, 2, 3 in a couple of these events. They're definitely probably going to do it in the hurdles. They could potentially do it in the 200 meters, and they have an outside shot to do it in the 400. So we're going to see. I'm going to pull up the current status right now, but the only thing that's pretty much been closed are like field events. Some of the field events have already been completed, and some of the distance running events have been completed. But I'll pull that up. But overall, I think we're in a good position. It would have been nice to get some better placing in the long jump today, but the team brought 7 points. Same goes for the weight throw. Alex Henry was a potential favorite to win it. Carlos Alexander, this isn't his main throw event. That's the shot put, I believe, and so he's going to get to do that tomorrow. So there's going to be some opportunity to get more points. I think the big key for A&T to get this win is that they're going to have to they're going to get some points from the field events as well. And they got to get 1, 2, 3 in some of these events, and I think they'll be able to do so. I think hurdles, 200 meter, very, very likely, 60 meter maybe. But overall, they had a lot of folks qualify. If we can get some points in the 800 meter, that'll be big. We typically historically don't do that, so that'll be big. And then the 4x400 tomorrow, we're the favorites to win that one as well. So there's a lot of points to be had because we got to make it up for the fact that we don't have too much strength in the field events. Not enough. The big thing about the CAA is that there's a lot of balance. There's a lot of balance. When I show you the standings, you'll understand. Monmouth and Northeastern are at the top currently on the men's side. For the women, Lashana Weaver, she's going to be the favorite to potentially take the hurdles and potentially pull the upset to win the 60 meter. But her teammate Aaliyah Harris will probably have a pretty good shot at that as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. The women, if they can pull a top 3 finish, and that's asking a lot, and I don't know if that's going to be possible because I don't think they had enough folks qualify in the sprints. But we'll see. I know that we do have some folks in the field that can that in some of the field events that can potentially do some damage there as well. Now Hampton, on the other hand, their women, they have a much better women program than us, and that I think they right now, as it stands right now, and I think they have some potential to get some points and things of that sort. So I wouldn't be shocked on the women's side that Hampton places at a higher rate, higher than the A&T women. Now on the men's side, it's going to be interesting. They did get some folks qualifying, which I'm not complaining as an Aggie, because that means there's less people from Monmouth and Northeastern who are typically the powerhouses in these events as a whole to win these team championships. So I'm not complaining when I see Hampton qualify, and it's going to be interesting for the 800 meters because they got some pretty good runners on the 800 meters as well. So long jump, they already had somebody play second place, so they already got points on the board as well on the men's side. So if we look at the scores right now for the men, Monmouth is in the lead, 53-52, and Northeast is 52.5. William & Mary 24. Hampton's at 16. A&T's at 14. But the points are going to be coming from A&T and Hampton tomorrow. The big key is making sure that Monmouth and Northeastern aren't continuing to gain points in those similar events as A&T. We got to shut them out. We got to have a couple 1, 2, 3s to have a legitimate shot. Let me see if I can pull the women ones up real fast. The women event, they've done 6. A&T's 5th in that as well. But see, look at Hampton. They got an outside shot to do some damage, but it all depends. Elon has been winning this. Elon and Northeastern has been winning it. So it's going to be fascinating to see if the Aggies or the Pirates can pull out and get at least have a shot to win it or potentially get on the podium. They're going to win some individual events. I'm not too worried about that regard. I think I think the men are going to win a couple individual events, and I expect the women to win a few as well. So it'll be fascinating to see how this goes.
But yeah, like I said, they've got to stack some podiums together to kind of make up that gap there.
Yeah, like when you're in the MEAC, you can get away with doing that. And even in the Big South, the last year in the Big South, there was a different focus during that period. Coach Ross at the time's attitude was he didn't really care too much about the conference championship. His focus on winning national championships. So he didn't necessarily, he pretty much put the B team out there and they still almost won it. But the thing that killed them was the field events. The field events tend to be the crux. Like, we got to get somebody that can do the pole vault. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get some folks to do some of these other events that a lot of folks aren't doing it. But we're definitely in position to win. The men are definitely in position to win it. I think the key. Let me see if I can pull up the rest of the events real fast. Let's see, athletes, events. The key is going to be, pull this up. For the men, they got to go 1, 2, 3 here. They got to go 1, 2. They got to go 1, 2, 3. It is critical, especially with Monmouth Northeastern being the other runners in the meter hurdle, in the 60-meter hurdles. 400. Once again, they got to go 1, 2, 3 here. They got to go 1, 2, 3. Same for the 60-meter. But they got to go 1, 2, 3. And it would be great if Hampton's 4, 5. Or we don't want Monmouth Northeastern to end up in the top 3. So it'd be great if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be the perfect scenario for us there. 800-meter. Got a shot to pull a surprise here, man. Like, we really don't have 800-meter runners. We got 2 in this one. If we can pull a win here, that'll be big. That'll be big. That'll be huge. That'll be big. We'll still get points because we're in the top 8. We're in the final 8. But if Dawson or Diamond can pull a win here, that'll be huge. No questions asked.
How they performed in the 8 this season?
Overall, I believe Diamond's been pretty good overall. Let me see if I can pull up his data. Both of them have been pretty good, surprisingly, because historically we have Fair. Fair's like our best. Fair's the best 800-meter runner we got on the men and the women's side, in my opinion, right? And so she's always like there for that. But on the men's side is where we typically don't have runners like that. So to have 2 to make the finals is going to be big. And I think Dawson or Diamond could win it. So that's going to be a one I'm going to be keeping an eye on tomorrow. The men, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be great, but 1, 2, 3 for sure. We gotta because with Northeastern, we can't let Northeastern get in the top 3 and get those points. That's the fear at this point, right? Because they already got the lead. So we gotta make sure they get the least points possible here. And because then you gotta worry about this. These are we only got 1 runner here. These are the ones that I fear. You know?
Ooh.
Yeah, these are the ones. This is the problem of the day.
Ooh, I've seen a lot of Monmouth.
A lot of Monmouth, a lot of Northeastern, right?
Yeah.
A lot of Monmouth. These are the ones. So it is imperative that we go 1, 2, 3. Now for the men here, we have an outside shot to win this. This is going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to seeing how we do here. And then, of course, the 4x400 is our race. But Campbell's tend to be pretty good. Hampton's pretty good as well. And Northeastern does okay as well. So it's going to be in Monmouth as well. So, once again, we got to win. But here's one that we should win right here. The shot put. Wouldn't be shocked if we go 1, 2, 3 here. All right? This will be big for us.
That'd be a much needed event and much needed points on that.
Yes, sir. Like that. So we have areas where we can do it, and I think we got a shot in the triple jump too. We got a shot in the triple jump as well, and potentially go 1, 2. But in the past we wouldn't have this. So shout out to Coach Johnson for rebuilding the team and building a more balanced program. High jump's another one. We got a shot. All right, we got 3 Aggies in it. Got a shot. So we have to place high and we got to make sure Monmouth and Northeastern don't go crazy in here because that's why they got the lead in the first place. So
that was never an event I could, because I ran many moons ago, and they was like, you want to try high jump? No, I can't. I could never figure it out. So watching them do it, I'm like, how do y'all do that? I don't understand.
And it tends to be one of the more hype field events too.
Yeah,
man, it's tend to be one of the more hype field events. Which
I watch it, I'm in awe. I'm like, I don't know how y'all do that. I'm smashing into the pole. This is not for me. I'm gonna go back over here to this 4x8, the 16, and the 32. I'm gonna go do that. Can't do that.
Now, A&T Roy, I think because of the point differential in some of the events that we're not strong in, Monmouth is. So we gotta go 1, 2, 3. We're gonna have to go 1, 2, 3 to gain that point advantage. We gotta take advantage and get ahead of them. If they end up, if Monmouth or Northeastern ends up in the top 3 in like the 200 meter or the 60 meter hurdle or any of those other events, is going to make it very difficult for A&T to catch up because of some of the other events that we're not really that involved in, like this. Like we have one Aggie in this event, and it would be great if he can get some points. And I think he could probably, if he could come out with his best time, he could potentially get some points here. But you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 folks from Monmouth, 1, 2, 3, and 3 people from and 3 from Northeastern. Now the hope is that the top 8 doesn't have any Northeastern or Monmouth in it. That'd be great. Like I want Hofstra to step their game up, and Hofstra probably gonna win it because this kid looks like he can run. And but then you got him from Northeastern that could potentially win the thing. So these are the races I'm worried about. And then I don't even get into the we don't have anybody in these either. The heptathlon, we ain't got nobody in this. So you got to take those things into account as well. But the men got a shot, man. And that'll be the first championship, first CAA championship if we can pull it off.
Yeah, they can do it, but like I said, they got their work cut out for them.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, I'm gonna be like they're not streaming the event. They're not streaming the championship, so I'm gonna be out here on the phone staring at this all day.
So you just got to refresh the live.
No. Once you pick an event, it updates automatically.
Oh, it does. Okay.
It does. It does update automatically. Yeah, I'm gonna have it on my phone, staring at it, looking to see what it is when I'm not dealing with another situation. But let me see here. Let me pull up so we can do the outro because ONG Stray Zone's coming up next. Let's see. Where's my format? That's not good. There we go. All right. Been a long day, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all have no idea. It's been a long day. Thank you for listening to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. I'm David L. Rose. Shout out to Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, the Dean of HBCU Sports, and this is my partner, Brandon King. And shout out to Jeffrey Johnson for making an appearance as well. We go live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central. And Dr. Cavil with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop goes live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the same time. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at ChampD1012. Go to sneakershoptalk.com for Mr. King. Check out some of his articles that he's written. Follow Dr. Kenyatta Cavil on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure you check us out on Inside the HBCU Sports Lab on YouTube. Dream big and continue to move forward. We'll talk to you guys soon. Brandon.
Of course.
Lecture dismissed.
Yes.